Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Hennessy,
And I'm Ryan Enright.
and here is our first official podcast. The working title is A Shot of Hennessy because that seems to be clever. So
It
essentially,
seems to be. We're still researching.
yeah, we're not sure if it's exactly funny yet. um, actually, that'll be good feedback. Like, let us know. Is that a lame name? Is that a cool name? Um, all right, so basically we're talking about the things that me and my friends like, which is comic books, stand-up comics, Dungeon Dragon type things, and video games and movies. So today Ryan is going to tell us about his D&D campaign because Ryan here is a DM and in probably like over 30 different D&D groups, and that is no exaggeration. No, that is an exaggeration, but he meets like with a group like all the time, so he's a busy week of D&D. So why don't you tell us about it, Ryan?
Okay. Well, the funny thing about this specific campaign that I'm on right now is that I originally had it with a different group of a bunch of high schoolers when I was just graduating, or actually, I think it was I just had graduated, but everybody else was still in high school, and we were so used to first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So that is the format and the version that we had, just been used to, and so that's what I created my entire world and campaign throughout.
Excuse the children and outdoorsy noise
Yeah,
from Ryan's
sorry.
side.
Watching the nieces and nephew.
Who brings a baby? No. No. Okay, continue.
But where was I? So it's made out of first edition AD&D, and we usually based everything that we created, but whether it be characters and monsters and different spells, and we would do that out of the Unearthed Arcana, if you're actually familiar with most of the first edition books and such like that. But anyways,
I just hear children laughing in the background.
yeah.
Are you doing
I'm
this from a
watching
Chuck
them.
E. Cheese? No.
What are you doing?
Getting something.
Oh, getting something. Okay.
Ryan.
You knocked over the flower, Savannah.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Go inside. You pick up the flower. Hop back on the bike. Have a good day. All right. Good Lord Almighty.
So that's been Ryan Enright with D&D/babysitting. No, please continue.
Oh, I apologize. This might have to happen 18 times within the next 30 seconds. But anyways. Okay, so the campaign. I just now converted it for my second group because my second group actually doesn't play first edition anymore. They actually now have moved up to the newer fourth edition and actually the very top-notch new stuff, fourth edition Essentials, which is barely a little bit more streamlining of fourth edition. I mean, it's like the same thing, but adding more, like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
That's
okay.
pretty much it. Just not as much added on, at least not right now. So anyways, changing everything into fourth edition was a little bit of a
I'm sorry, I just can't get over that. Please continue.
changing everything from first edition to fourth edition was very hard because so many things. I've never played second or third or 3.5 or Pathfinder or anything in between. So jumping, apparently the game changed from like second edition to third edition, which was revolutionary. So going from first to fourth was just even a bigger jump. At least for me, I had to kind of relearn the entire game. Go on and play. Go on and
How
play.
much? How much? What are some big changes that you had to do?
Well, the first thing is that first edition doesn't need a board. Fourth edition, at least for combat encounters, you do. You need a board with a grid, just a bunch of squares all over the place, and you have your actual minis and you move around because each square represents 5 feet. And it's actually important because some spells, range for this long, and you can only move so far without getting an attack of opportunity, and there's like flanking, and there's different types of strategies. And when I first got introduced to this, I played at my local game shop, and it was called Dungeons and Dragons Encounters. And Encounters is made just for a real nice, easy pickup game. It's it's got story, but it's very light in the story. As in, if you joined in on our third session of the 14 session campaign, it doesn't matter. I can't think of a story hook off the top of my head to add you into it, but you just say, "Well, you just appeared there, and let's not focus on minor details like that, and let's play and have fun."
So we picked up this guy. No need to ask who he is or why he's here, but he's with us now. Okay.
Exactly, exactly.
Everyone's in agreement. All right, cool.
And stuff like that. And then they use the since it's encounters, every single session has at least one combat encounter. And if you play just encounters, it's not the best version of D&D because then it looks like a video game almost. Like you're just really moving your guy and rolling dice. There's not too much story. There's not too much role playing. There's not too much of anything. But once you get that and you've done it for like a season or maybe two to get the hang of how combat really is supposed to work and how their new D20 system is, how they do skill challenges and pretty much like that, then you've pretty much got it covered, and then you're pretty much set to go on to a custom campaign, which is what I finally got to be able to pick up off the ground for 4th edition. And it is really fun. It is really like looking at my 1st edition campaign and trying to convert it to 4th just raw without any type of that experience with 4th edition or anything past 2nd edition really. It was just impossible. But now it's actually very easy. Should I just I guess I'll start talking about the actual campaign and what I did.
Actually, what I wanted to say is for people listening is I'm a big fan of 1st edition, so I can imagine how hard it'd be to change all of that. I've played 1st edition and 4th edition. I used to have a group back in high school that we met like every weekend for a long time, probably over a year. And I've even played with Ryan here. I was in his group before I moved. He was our DM, great campaign.
Thanks.
And I remember he actually, for those who are fan of the band Death Clock from the show Metalocalypse, he made an entire campaign based off the first Death album.
Oh my god, so much fun.
Probably my favorite campaign whatsoever, like in history. It was just so ridiculous, and it just it pleased everyone. Everyone was happy. Everyone got to do something epic, and just the fact that there were so many puzzles that were so obvious that we completely overlooked them because all you have to do is know the song and you would have gotten it. Like there were so many simple things, but just because I wasn't expecting it to be so obvious, we like walked right past it. So, but it was a lot of it was a lot of fun. Yeah, why don't you give us a nice little summary of your campaign so far?
Okay, cool. Oh, that actually reminds me. Another big change from 1st edition to 4th edition was if you were like armor class 0 or you went into the negatives, you were like one badass mofo, and you were like, like there were like demons and gods that have like -5 and -6 armor class. This one not so much. I'm trying to remember his name. I don't remember exactly, but the Prince of Undeath is the top level monster that you could ever fight, and he has an armor class of like 50 something. So now it's changed. You have to go up. You have to go higher. With initiative rolls, I remember you have to roll a d6 and you got to try to go negative and you got to be small. This one, nope, you're rolling a d20 and you're hoping to get like really high, like as close to 20 if you can't pop past 20 yet.
It seems that the way they've made it is to appeal, like seem easier, like right off the bat. Because, like, if you ask anybody, what do you know about D&D, like, even if they know nothing, they'll be like, oh, you have multiple-sided dice. So I guess it's like, instead of like, oh, an initiative, you have to get a low number, that doesn't make sense. Like, just roll, the die everyone knows, roll it, get a high number, it makes sense. And the same with the armor class, of how, an armor class of 0, people's first assumption is, what? That's really low. Like, I don't understand, but I guess it's going with, it's a lot easier to know, like, oh, higher number equals better.
Right. That's actually the entire D20 system. It seems more logical from an outsider standpoint to say, oh, the higher I roll, the better, because that's like with every game that involves dice at all. Like, you want the top number so you can move the most, and you can do this and that, and all those things.
Right. Oh, yeah, so get to your campaign.
Oh, right.
We keep getting sidetracked. Okay.